the force that never existed. For over 300 years, humanity believed gravity was a pulling force, an invisible rope tied from Earth to every falling apple, every orbiting moon, every human standing on the ground. Newton gave us equations that worked so well we put men on the moon using them. But here's the shocking part. Newton himself admitted he had no idea how this force could act across empty space with nothing touching anything. He called it action at a distance, and privately thought it was almost absurd. For centuries, scientists used a force they couldn't explain, only describe. Then Einstein asked a question so simple it terrified physicists. What if there is no pulling force at all? What if we've been fooled by our own senses because we never questioned what falling actually means? This single question cracked open 200 years of assumptions. It turned out gravity was never reaching out and grabbing anything. There was no rope, no pull, no mysterious force traveling through nothingness. The very thing every textbook taught as a force was actually a disguise for something far stranger, something built into the shape of space and time itself. This note alone should make any viewer sit up, because it means everything they were taught about why things fall was technically the wrong picture entirely. The elevator that changed physics forever. Imagine being trapped in a windowless elevator with no way to look outside. If that elevator was sitting on Earth, you'd feel your normal weight. But if that same elevator were floating in deep space and something started accelerating it upward, you would feel the exact same pressure on your feet, identical, indistinguishable, impossible to tell apart by any experiment you could ever perform inside it. This thought experiment is called the equivalence principle, and it's one of the most shocking realizations in the history of science. It means gravity and acceleration are not just similar, they are literally the same phenomenon viewed from different angles. If you cannot design any test to tell the difference between gravity pulling you down and acceleration pushing you up, then maybe gravity was never a separate force needing its own explanation. Maybe it was hiding in plain sight as nothing more than motion through a bent stage. This idea alone dismantled the notion of gravity as a force reaching out from a planet. Instead, it hinted that mass doesn't pull anything, it bends the arena, everything moves through, and objects simply follow the bend, the same way a marble follows a curved bowl without anything pushing it sideways. This is the seed that grew into general relativity. Space and time are not a stage, they're a trampoline. For most of human history, space was treated like an empty, unchanging stage where events simply happened, and time ticked forward the same for everyone, everywhere. That comfortable picture was completely wrong. Space and time are not separate, and they are not fixed. They form a single flexible fabric called spacetime, and here's the shocking twist. That fabric can bend, stretch, and warp, depending on what's sitting inside it. Picture a stretched rubber sheet with a heavy bowling ball placed in the middle. The sheet doesn't stay flat, it sags, curving downward around the ball. Now roll a marble nearby, and instead of moving in a straight line, it curves toward the ball, not because the ball is pulling it, but because the surface itself is bent. Massive objects like stars and planets do this same thing to space-time itself. Earth doesn't reach out and grab the moon. Earth's mass bends the fabric of space and time around it, and the moon is simply following the most natural path available on that bent fabric. This means gravity isn't a force being applied to objects, it's geometry, it's shape. It's the architecture of the universe itself, quietly curving under the weight of everything that exists within it. Falling is the most natural thing in the universe. Here is something that should genuinely disturb the way you see the world. When you drop a ball, it is not being pulled by anything. It's doing the equivalent of moving in a straight line, except that straight now means the straightest possible path through curved spacetime, called a g of s. On flat ground, a straight line looks like a ruler's edge, but on a curved surface like the surface of Earth itself, a straight line becomes a great circle, the path airplanes take across oceans, which looks curved on a map, but is actually the shortest, most natural route. Objects falling under gravity behave exactly this way. A planet orbiting a star, an apple falling from a tree, a satellite circling Earth, none of them are being forced into motion. They are simply following the most effortless, most natural path allowed by the shape of space-time around them. This is the shocking reversal. Falling doesn't require a force. Standing still on Earth's surface, resisting that natural path, is actually what requires force, because the ground is constantly pushing up against your feet, interrupting your natural fall through space-time. That means right now, your body isn't fighting gravity, the ground is fighting your natural motion. Gravity was never the aggressor, solid ground was. Light doesn't lie, and light bent. If gravity is really just curved space-time and not a pulling force, there had to be a way to prove it, a way to catch the universe in the act. In 1919, during a total solar eclipse, Scientists pointed telescopes at stars positioned directly behind the sun. According to the old force-based theory, if starlight passed near the sun, its path might bend slightly due to gravity's pull, but the amount predicted by spacetime curvature was almost double what Newtonian gravity predicted. The eclipse blocked the sun's blinding glare just long enough to measure the position of those distant stars. The result was electrifying. The light had bent exactly as the curved spacetime model predicted, not as a simple pulling force would suggest. Light has no mass, so a pulling force made no logical sense in explaining why it bent at all. But if space itself was warped like a valley around the sun, then light, like everything else, would simply follow that valley's shape. This experiment turned a radical idea into an undeniable fact overnight, and newspapers around the world announced that a new understanding of the universe had arrived. The universe had just confessed, using nothing but starlight, that mass does not pull. It bends the very stage on which reality plays out. Your phone's GPS proves this every single second. This is the detail that should shock viewers the most, because it isn't ancient history. It's happening right now, in their pocket. GPS satellites orbit far above Earth, where space-time curvature is slightly weaker than it is on the surface, because time itself flows at different rates depending on how curved space-time is at your location. Clocks on those satellites tick faster than clocks on Earth's surface by about 38 microseconds every single day. That sounds tiny, but if engineers ignored it and treated gravity as a simple old-fashioned force instead of space-time curvature, every rideshare pickup, every turn-by-turn direction, every drop pin depends on correcting for the true nature of gravity as curved space-time, not a pulling force. In other words, this isn't just a theory debated in classrooms or physics journals. It's a correction engineers must build into satellites orbiting above your head at this very moment, or global navigation would completely collapse within days. The next time a phone points someone home accurately, that small miracle is only possible because scientists stopped treating gravity as an invisible hand and started treating it as the true curved geometry of space and time. The universe is quietly proving this theory correct every second, in every pocket, everywhere on Earth. What if everything you were ever taught about falling is wrong? What if there is no invisible hand reaching down from the sky, no rope pulling the apple to the ground, no mysterious force stretching across empty space to grab hold of the moon? What if the very thing you call gravity has never once pulled on anything in the history of the universe? Now, I know that sounds like nonsense. You drop something, it falls. Feels pretty simple, right? You've felt gravity your whole life, standing on the ground, jumping and coming back down, watching a ball roll off a table. It certainly feels like something is pulling you. But feeling something and understanding it are two very different games. That's the whole trouble with physics. Nature doesn't care what feels obvious to us. Nature just does what it does, and our job is to catch it in the act and figure out its trick. Here's the trick. Imagine you're standing in a closed box with no windows, no way to peek outside. Now, if that box is sitting on the surface of a planet, you feel your weight pressing down on your feet. Ordinary, expected, but now imagine that same box floating out in deep space, far from any planet, any star, any gravity at all, and something starts pulling that box upward, accelerating it. What do you feel? The exact same pressure on your feet. Identical. No experiment you could ever perform inside that box could tell you which situation you were in. None. Not one. Now stop and think about what that really means. If gravity and acceleration produce identical effects with absolutely zero difference detectable by any measurement whatsoever, maybe they're not two different things pretending to be the same. Maybe they actually are the same thing. So what is really going on? Picture space and time, not as some empty stage where things simply happen, but as a stretchy, flexible fabric, like a giant trampoline stretched tight. Now place something heavy in the middle of that trampoline, a bowling ball. What happens to the sheet? It sags, it bends, it curves downward around that weight. Now roll a marble across that trampoline off to the side. Does it move in a straight line? No, it curves inward toward the bowling ball. But here's the key question. Is the bowling ball reaching out and grabbing the marble? Is there a little invisible arm pulling it inward? Of course not. The marble is simply following the shape of the surface it's rolling on. The surface is bent, so a straight line on that surface actually curves. That is exactly what a planet does to space and time around it. Earth doesn't reach out and grab the moon with some ghostly rope. Earth's mass bends the fabric of space and time around itself, and the moon simply follows the most natural, most effortless path available on that bent fabric. It's not being pulled. It's falling in a straight line, just a straight line on a curved surface. Now here's where it gets truly strange. When you drop a ball and it falls to the ground, that ball is not experiencing a force at all. It is doing the most natural thing possible, moving along the straightest path available through curved spacetime. Meanwhile, you, standing on the ground right now, feeling your weight pressing into your shoes, you are the one experiencing a force. The ground beneath your feet is constantly pushing up on you, shoving you off your natural path through space-time, interrupting the fall you would otherwise be taking. Standing still takes force. Falling takes none at all. And this isn't just some poetic idea dreamed up for fun. In 1919, during a total eclipse, scientists watched starlight bend as it passed near the sun, bending by an amount that only made sense if space itself was curved, not if some pulling force was reaching out from the sun. Light has no mass. A pulling force made no sense whatsoever. But curved space explained it instantly, perfectly, undeniably, and it's still happening today, right now, in your pocket. Satellites above your head are ticking